Denmark Open is coming up. Finally, we've got World Tour Badminton action again in the city of Odense. All the players have arrived in Odense and are taking their mandatory COVID-19 tests, so they're ready to start the tournament on Tuesday. It's been a while since we last had a World Tour tournament, 7 months to be precise. That was the All England Open, and I guess a lot of players have been looking forward, players, coaches, everybody's been looking forward to get badminton off to a new start again, even though it's with COVID-19 restrictions in the tournament. So it's clear that not all the top players are here for this Super 750 tournament, but we've got all the top European players. We've got the reigning two-time world champions. We've got Olympic gold and bronze medalists. We've got all the Danes here. Of course, not Victor Axelsen, as he underwent surgery in his ankle, but things are going well and he's progressing in his recovery. And we've also got some youngsters in the tournament, which is a great chance for them to play a tournament at this level, and that's normally something that they would not really be able to qualify for. So in the mixed doubles, there's a really good chance that it's going to be English domination here. Here in the picture is Chris and Gabby Adcock, the married couple who's achieved so many great results throughout their career. At the moment, they're only ranked as the second best English pair. Marcus Ellis and Lauren Smith have passed the Adcocks, and it could very well be those two pairs who is battling it out for the title on Sunday. If we look at the Olympic qualification, there's also a tough battle between these two pairs. As you can see, Marcus Ellis and Lauren Smith currently at 10th and qualified in the Olympic qualification race, whereas Chris and Gabby Adcock are two places behind. There's not a whole lot of tournaments left in the Olympic qualification period, and this tournament does not count towards Olympic qualification. The tournaments that was cancelled earlier this year in March and April will be the tournaments counting towards Tokyo, when they hopefully are played in 2021. In terms of qualification for the World Tour Finals, there's a different list, the race to World Tour Finals. We can see that Marcus Ellis and Lauren Smith, they're actually number one on that ranking list, and they have a great chance here to build on that and more or less secure their spot in the World Tour Finals, who this year will be held in Thailand. If we look at where Chris and Gabby Adcock are placed, they're placed at 21st, so they definitely need a good run of points to increase their chance of making it to the world final. It's noticeable that the pair ranked second in the race to the World Tour Finals, Tom Gikel and Delphine Deré, they've had to withdraw from the tournament. Unfortunately, Tom Gikel, the young Frenchman, sprained his ankle in mid-September and also tore two ligaments in that accident. So next up is women's doubles. That's mostly Japan in that discipline. We have the world champions Matsumoto and Nakahara in the tournament. We also have Fukushima and Hirota, and we should have as well the young combination of Chiharu Shida and Nami Matsuyama. Unfortunately, they have withdrawn from the tournament, so it is the two top combinations battling it out. They've played each other in two consecutive World Championship finals, and both times the pair in white, Matsumoto and Nakahara, came out winners by the narrowest of margins. So there's quite a rivalry between these two pairs. In the tournament is also the European champions, the Bulgarian Stoeva sisters, who are coming just off a victory in their home tournament in Bulgaria. It's a tournament on the European tour. There's Danish interest with Sarah Thyssen and Maiken Fruergaard, who played so well earlier this year in Indonesia Masters, where they reached the final. So they will definitely be out to test the two Japanese pairs and see if they can make life difficult for them. In terms of qualification for the World Tour, the BWF stated that they're not going to award a wildcard to the reigning world champions, and that means that Matsumoto and Nakahara, they're actually in a little bit of a tight spot, as they're only ranked third on that list, and you can only have two pairs from each country participating. Shida and Matsuyama are ranked higher than Matsumoto and Nakahara, so they will be out to gain some points there so that they can participate in the World Tour finals, get ranking points when the ranking is unfrozen, and thus secure a good seeding for the upcoming Olympics on home soil. Men's doubles is a category that suffered a lot from late withdrawals from Japan. All four Japanese combinations were seeded in this tournament, and that means that we have only European seeds left in the tournament. In the top half of the draw, we have Marcus Ellis and Chris Langridge, the Olympic bronze medalist, and they could face a semi-final against the Danish home favorites Anders Rasmussen and Kim Astrup. That would definitely not be a surprise. Astrup and Rasmussen, in terms of qualification for the World Tour finals, they are number 8 and just in, so they'll of course be looking to better that position and secure a good starting point ahead of the two Asian tournaments in January, which is the last tournaments where you can qualify for the World Tour finals. Women's singles probably has the biggest stars in the draw. Carolina Marin from Spain, the reigning Olympic champion and former world champion, and of course Nozomi Okuhara with her trademark bow there. The also former world champions are the two players that are expected to go far in the women's singles, but there's other players that can challenge them. We have Zhang Beiwen representing the United States and Michelle Lee from Canada. It's definitely players that will test Marin and Okuhara, and of course we also have Mia Blichfeld of Denmark, who has been struggling with a little bit of knee injury lately, so perhaps her form is lacking a little bit, but that might be the case for a number of the players. Nobody really knows where they're standing at the moment, since the last tournament on the World Tour was the All England Championships back in March. So here's the upper half of the draw. We can see there's withdrawals from Akane Yamaguchi and Aya Ohori from Japan. So it's basically anybody's game in the first quarter there, whilst Marin is the third seed and tipped to play a quarterfinal against Zhang Beiwen. We have an all-Danish encounter with the World Junior Silver medalist Line Kristoffersen taking on the more established Line Kjærsfeldt. And in the lower part of the draw, we can see that unfortunately Saina Nehwal had a last-minute withdrawal, and Sayaka Takahashi from Japan is also out. So Nozomi Okuhara, seeded second, the clear favorite to go into the semi-final from that lower half of the draw, whilst Blichfeld and Michelle Lee are tipped to play the quarterfinal in the third quarter. In men's singles, there is a goodbye tournament for one of the best Danish players in the last 10 years. Jan O. Jorgensen is calling it quits. In fact, he already has called it quits, so he's no longer practicing with the national team. He's just playing his last tournament on home soil, bugged by injuries in the later years of his great career, where, of course, the victory with the Danish Thomas Cup team in 2016 is a major achievement, but also winning the Indonesia Open and China Open in men's singles are outstanding results from the Dane. So, from a Danish perspective, the hope is that perhaps Anders Antonsen can become the next Danish winner. That's a good opportunity this year, and he's also got Rasmus Gemke as his compatriot, who they're childhood friends, and could be a fantastic final if they were to meet there. But other players will definitely have a say about that. And here we see the draw in the lower half. We can see that Shrikant Kidambi from India is there, and also the second seed Chou Tien-chen, who must be considered the favorite to win this tournament now that Momota has withdrawn. Shrikant, of course, out to see if he can restart his career. He's fallen down a bit in the rankings, and at the moment are not qualified for the Olympics. And as I said, this is not a tournament that offers Olympic qualifying points, but it offers self-confidence if Shrikant gets his game off well here in Denmark. Chou Tien-chen would be the first obstacle, as you saw in the quarterfinal, but a very interesting tournament that we have ahead of us in the men's singles, especially that lower half looks loaded in terms of great players when you take the level of the tournament into account. The upper half is 2 seats left. That is Kenta Nishimoto and Rasmus Gemke. That's a little bit a weaker draw, in my opinion. We see Momota is out, Koki Watanabe has withdrawn, and so has Kashyap and Kanta Tsuneyama. So only 2 seats left, Nishimoto and Rasmus Gemke, and I would be a little bit surprised if they were not playing each other in the semi-final. However, we have interesting players. Vittinghus has perhaps got an easier first round than playing Tsuneyama, and also the match between Lakshya Sen and Christoph Popov in the first round. Sen, the World Junior bronze medalist 2 years ago, and Christoph Popov, the young Frenchman, won a silver at the World Juniors last year, so that's going to be a really, really interesting match. Here is the schedule. BWF.TV is broadcasting all 6 days of the tournament. First 3 days starting at 9 o'clock local time, and in the weekend for quarterfinals, semifinals and finals. Also lots of coverage provided if you are not able to watch it by your local TV provider. So hopefully you're going to tune in and follow the Denmark Open. There's full action from the beginning with the popcorn match in the first round between Lakshya Sen and Christoph Popov. That's going to be a really, really interesting match, and I hope you're going to enjoy watching live badminton. It's been all too long since Victor Axelsen won that All England final.